Welcome into the Five Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast, the fantasy hockey podcast that is in it to win it and hopefully helps you live another week. We're your hosts tonight, Jay and Alan. Jay, how many leagues are you still in at this point of the season?
How many leagues am I dead already in at this point this season? It is a bloodbath. The Red Weddings ain't got nothing on the amount of leagues I'm crashing and burning out of. But Alan, enough talk about me. Let's look at that tier 4. Final 4.
Yeah. I think it's funny that it worked out in tier 4 of the 5-hole league that all the show hosts ended up on one side of the of the playoffs.
Right.
So either way we get represented. Represented in the finals. So it's me versus Matty K right now.
It's looking like a pretty healthy lead. I got
a decent lead. Did get a decent lead, but there's still so much hockey left in the week. But yeah, that's represented remix.
It is.
But it gets slimmer from here on out. So I mean, while we still have a lot more listeners than we will in the next couple weeks, just I'm glad I got to come back and do this again. Thanks everyone for listening. As always, subscribe here on YouTube. That helps us. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. You can join us on the Discord. I think we're approaching about 3,000 fantasy hockey peoples out there. And then follow us on Twitter/X. You can DM us, slide into our DMs. And then TJ's still cooking up some tools on the 5-hole website at FHFH.com. I don't know. I guess before we get into news here, Caffeine Academy has a good question. Community submissions, team biopsy for the playoffs. So not autopsy, biopsy. I would say that might be a DM question.
That's
autopsy though. That would be for a fun show. One year I loved the show that Keeping Karlsson did, where it was just like submit like the word what your reason was for not winning your league, and then they picked like the best.
Right.
we should do something like that, an autopsy or postmortem.
And I was gonna say like a positive spin on it, like does it gotta be does it have to be an autopsy? It could be he was saying biopsy, right? I was like, it could be winners, rolling them all the way through as well. Autopsies and biopsies. Fantastic. Oh, I love it.
Let's get into some news. So storylines, man, I talked about it Saturday. I'm bringing it up again, Jay, because the sample size is a little bigger. Is Tristan Jarry back? He has won 4 out of his last 5 now. And all 4 of those wins, quality starts. And even that loss he had was with a 919 save percentage. I mean, I'm not in a vacuum, so we're not thinking about schedule for this week or next week because it sucks. But if as a third goalie right now, if you want to carry 3, especially to get those off nights, I mean, is it worth thinking about?
If you need a goalie at this point, every goalie is rosterable. If you can snag a starter that is going to be bouncing in to the crease night in, night out, Tristan Jarry is probably your best guy.
I mean, I like it against the Jackets. I don't against Florida though. I don't know. It depends on which version of the Florida Panthers shows up on Sunday.
It will be crazy in that swing as well, because I guess Pittsburgh is playing, depending on how you view it, meaningful hockey. They're 4 points out of the playoff spot at this point.
Oh, I didn't even know they were that close. I thought it was like, they were playing for a lotto pick, and then Tristan Jarry shows back up and he's like, "Hey guys, we're going for the middle.
We're going for the middle." And I mean, I was going to say too, like Florida, Tampa, those games upcoming, like though either of those teams can still win the Atlantic, right? So I think, I don't know.
And that's why as a guy, Florida, I think Florida's first in the Atlantic right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Florida, Tampa,
Toronto won tonight, so who knows? I mean, it's so close.
Tampa's 2 points down and has a game in hand, right? So they win the game. Every team is tied at the top. In my mind, with 14, 15 games to go for the teams, any of the three can end up winning the division. I mean, if Ottawa keeps going, that's not impossible either. I think they're a real dark horse, though. Anywho, all that's to say, you can't win games without scoring goals, and you can't score goals without shots on goal. So I just see Jari getting peppered, and that kind of gets
So
me
volume. There we go. There we go. So a volume league. Yes.
for sure.
Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to injuries there. Thatcher Demko faced shots yesterday in the morning skate and will travel with the team on their upcoming road trip. So that's progress. And if he comes back next week, that's huge because Vancouver, if you're able to stash Demko or something, Vancouver has the best schedule for next week.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be nice. Yeah, we'll be grabbing everyone with the pulse in Vancouver. Next up, Shea Theodore did practice in a regular jersey today, but Bruce Cassidy says not to expect him to play this week. I don't know, Jay. I mean, I didn't look at his ownership. I mean, this is probably maybe a speed walk to see if maybe someone dropped him thinking he was done for the season. IR stash.
I mean, to be honest, I'm probably still in the camp that, I was. So let's see. Cassidy, don't expect him to play this week. So what does this week entail, right? Does this week indicate the 24th?
Well, that's like all three of their games.
Yeah. The other one is like, it depends who you're dropping as well, right? Like I think even posting down to Mars Veneer, I guess PD, is how I've defaulted as well. He's talking about, right, dropping Norris for Neighbors, Falk, like these sorts of decisions indicate that if you have a Shea Theodore available to pick up or, lounge around,
Just IR stash.
Right. But there's probably, yeah.
I mean, I would say in a keeper league, he is probably not being dropped, but I mean, maybe some redraft leagues.
I was even saying too, like, you probably have to target down a guy that you could drop for him. Like, what is a guy I'd advise?
It'd be like whoever your fourth defenseman is, like, right?
I guess we'd say drop Folk for Theodore too.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, it'd be who, but
he's already stashing Marchand and Monahan. I think Monahan's probably the guy of the two that you have to probably let go if you had to. No, but I guess. Sorry, I'm responding to PD's
sorry,
question.
Yeah, we're talking in chat here to Caffeine Ketamine. He's asking drop Norris for Neighbors or Falk next week. Looking for off-night help.
I was just saying Neighbors or Falk. I'm looking at that schedule. That unless we're looking at a different week, if it's the week of the 24th.
Well, the Blues had this sneaky good schedule this week. I liked their matchups.
Sorry, he's talking about the remainder of this week. If it's the remainder of this week, then yeah, they face a back-to-back against Chicago and Nashville, which seems pretty juicy. If he's talking about, yeah, I guess he's got to be because next week looks horrendous. It's just a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Thursday,
next week
Saturday
Seattle just has week 24. So
yeah,
2
St.
weeks
Louis
from now.
looks terrible. March 24. Wait, 24. Why are we going? PD, you gotta explain this one to me, man. I have no idea. Why
the next
going into
so the
St.
next
Louis
2 weeks,
week.
after this week, St. Louis just has 3 games, no off nights.
Yeah, so I don't think we'd go into the well of Missouri. No, not Missouri. Jeez, never mind. St. Louis. Let's stay with St. Louis. Yeah, we're not going to St. Louis for that one. But yeah, I would say just returning us to the theater idea.
Would we stash him if he was available?
I think he's already like beyond, right? Like he's 81% owned. I think he's easily taken. I definitely would stash him just for decision making purposes and the Field of Dreams. Yeah, that Vegas team right now is sitting pretty at the top of the division. Oh, I guess they're kind of in a battle with Edmonton for the top. Yeah, you know what? You just gotta see what the news says, and obviously at that caliber of player, you don't get him off the wire. You can't drop him into the wire either. They have a great schedule. Oh, they don't have a great schedule for March 24th.
It was like next couple weeks, the Blues have just 3 games.
It's so tough with the Vegas decision, right? Like Shea Theodore is great and everything. He's got 3 games in March 24th, 4 games March 31st. So that's what most players semis, finals. Yeah. Really depends at this point. Really depends on his deployment, depends on his minutes, depends on everything. Just keep him on your iron. Yeah. Eyes up. Alan.
Yeah, so next up.
What the hell?
The vibe around Dallas is that Miro Heiskanen will not be back for the first round of the real playoffs, not fantasy. So yeah, I'd say at this point in a redraft, like he's very droppable. Hopefully,
yesterday,
he was droppable yesterday. I think. Yeah, hopefully he got on Thomas Harley.
Who was the other D man? Was it Matt Dumba? Was he the other guy that was getting some power play time?
No, I think they usually default to Esa Lindell.
Gotcha.
If you need something else, because they traded Nils Lundqvist. I think that was sort of his pedigree, was like that puck moving defenseman, could have been a power play QB.
Because what I'm seeing is that says supposedly Dumba gets power play 2 and penalty kill 2, but that Esa Lindell's getting penalty kill 1 is what it looks like. In which case, I would probably still say the value might be, as you said, Esa Lindell, because that man is a magnet for blocks. So, hell yeah, we're getting that man. Oh, geez, I would say sneaky value too. Maybe Cody Ceci also gets penalty kill 1.
How deep would your new league need to be, though, for Cody Ceci to be relevant? That's ouch.
Absolutely. And shout out to Petey. Yeah, Harley for a 12th round keeper. I'm telling you, next man up.
I mean,
that's
we'll see what happens. I'm sure Miro will be back first thing next season. Who knows what they do? But returns. We got Matthias Ekholm returned last night. That was a great game for the Oilers. Ekholm got 1 goal, 2 assists. So with Ekholm back, it looks like Wallman is now listed as the quote third parity, but he spent most of the game with Nurse, which is probably more of a second pairing. But Ekholm still does not have neither of them, Ekholm or Wallman, neither of them have power play 1. How are we? Man, that one game makes me want to race and pick up Ekholm. I mean, I know if you have any kind of bangers weight, Ekholm is really nice. I don't know how we feel. I guess how are we feeling about Ekholm and Wallman?
It kind of looks like, so from what I'm reading right now, so they have basically 4 guys that could be snagging and stealing minutes off of each other, which is horrible for us as fantasy owners. Looks like Evan Bouchard's getting D1 PP1, and then Nurse and Wallman are D2 PP2 and killing penalties on PK1, and then Matthias Ekholm is only the D1 pairing. Well, free phrase. He's only the power. He only kills power. He's only penalty kill 2, but then he also is the D1. So when you mix all that together, you're looking at guys that would grab production in the throng and the throw of 5-on-5 shenanigans. But if you're looking for like set power play guys, it doesn't matter if I'm telling you Evan Bouchard
stonks down on both of them.
Yeah, stonks down on both guys.
I'd say Ekholm probably as a 4th, 5th defenseman if you're
for sure
that hard up. But I'd say there's still some of those other guys out there. I don't know where Lorai's ownership jumped up to, but like one of those Blues defensemen, because
for sure
they seem very hot right now.
And I would even say too, for any individuals holding on to Jake Wallman with like grandiose hopes and dreams, like maybe this is the dose of cold, the douse of cold water over the head, where it's like might be a Timo situation repeated, where Sharks Timo and Sharks Wallman might not be the same as New Jersey Timo. And
that's a very apples to apples comparison, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I think even Ekholm's stat line as a whole, the periffs were better than Wallman's. I feel bad for all those. I feel like all those people that picked up Wallman got Wallman for like nothing. That's awesome. He got you to where you are right now. But That's to me, it seems like Wallman's not worth hanging on to at this point.
Honestly, Wallman holders might be getting stonewalled in this situation.
But yeah, let's get to the meat of the show. We'll do the weekend preview. Unfortunately, there are no teams with the Thursday, Friday, Sunday sweet schedule. So there's only one game Friday, and that is Columbus versus Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh, you could say Rust and Malkin are somehow 41% owned. I feel like Malkin was cold for a lot of the season, but Rust, come on. He's pretty much a lock for line one, power play one. I don't know, but Blue Jackets, some of those guys are cold. They did mix up the lines a little bit today. I think top line was Ken Johnson, Fantilli, and Marchenko. I forget what second line is. Probably Boone Jenner on it. There's been murmurings of Boone Jenner on power play one. I don't know if that actually sticks for a game. We'll see. But I mean, is there anyone on Blue Jackets that's your go-to, Jay?
Well, I'm looking. Obviously, I'm looking from the league in which every single thing counts. I swear they sniff things twice and it adds for points. But Luke Kunin seems to be a real deep stab. Like, dude is unicorn, 2% owned, and just as what? So he's got 100 shots, 175 hits, almost 7. He's got 70 blocks. So I guess it's the periffs. Yeah. So if it's periffs are what you need, penalty minutes, he snags some too. I don't know if it's a face-offs league. Anywho, like a real deep cut with periffs heavy. Luke Kunin at 2%, I think, is like the guy.
I mean, if we're talking deep cuts, I do love Matthew Olivier for hits.
Ooh,
defenseman Dante Fabro, like he is prone to stumble backwards into points sometimes. But I feel like most of the good guys are pretty highly owned at this point.
I think so too. Oh, maybe
I was like Boone Jenner is probably.
Chinikov gets line one, power play 2.
Yeah,
maybe. It's so tough, right? Their team, honestly, this season is doing. I don't want to say too well, but their team is not supposed to be this good, right? So
no, and I think it's catching up with them. They're no longer in a wild card spot. It's painful to watch. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's painful to watch. Yeah, Fantilli's only 32% owned for some reason. Voronkov, 26%. Boone Jenner, 24%. Ken Johnson, 23%. Yeah, I bet a lot of these guys probably got dropped for streamers in the first part of the week. But I would hope their ownership would pick their ownership will probably skyrocket like tomorrow and Friday.
I cannot believe Adam Fantilli is 32% owned. Like,
right? That
are these numbers correct? What
seems criminal?
Voronkov is 26% owned too. So anywho, yeah, Fantilikov has got a. Anyway, yeah.
Back to the Pens. I don't know, Jay. Tomasino seems like my pick. It's hard to get like a good level-headed view of that team after they trounced the Devils a few nights ago. Because if you look like if you look at them by like last 7 days, last 14 days or whatever, you get guys like Connor Dewar. Oh my gosh. Connor Dermott. No, I gotta pull these guys up again.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna roll. I was like, what are these names that you're describing?
Oh yeah, there's names. I'm like, I've never heard of this man before today.
So Connor Dewar,
Connor Timmins. There we go. That's another one. Ryan Graves has some points.
Wait, I've never heard of this guy before. Bukanji Imama. Wow.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of him either.
Oh, okay.
But he has no points in the last week.
Yeah. He plays like, it's my league with all the periffs because he's still getting representation here. It's all the hits. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, dude gets like 5 minutes a night. I was like, how is he right under Ryan Graves? Anywho, yeah, I think it's really hard to make a decision based on the last 14, right? If we're pulling.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally skewed. And I think even they're doing crazy stuff. Like I think doesn't Kevin Hayes getting like some power play one time or something, and he's the fourth line center.
The fourth wide. Oh man.
I like Philip Tomasino. It looks like Danton Heinen is also on that Malkin line. I'd say if you're wanting to pick up someone for Friday, Sunday, I would say, I mean, those two to me, if Malkin
Malkin's
and Rust are
probably
gone.
Yeah, I think Malkin's probably okay. Rust is the target at 41%. Also at 41%
Oh God, yeah.
is Malkin. Yeah, I think you get those two. And then what's going on with their power play one? Am I seeing it right? Like, so Matt
Oh God,
Grizzly,
who knows?
Matt Grizzly
They
is the
do
guy.
that. They've done that like a few times in the season,
Okay.
and I fell for it once where I was like, "Oh, Grizzly's getting some power play one time, better
And I
go
was like,
snatch
oh,
him." And then like the next game, he was off of it.
yeah, he doesn't seem to do anything with it. But
No,
anyways, yeah. Moving
yeah.
on.
I know, right? Okay, yeah. So yeah, Columbus, Pittsburgh. Those are like primary bets for Friday and Sunday. There are a bunch of other games on Sunday. You could probably get like one game streams for, because pretty much all these teams play Saturday too. It's super slim pickings. So we'll just go through game by game on Sunday. Anaheim versus Carolina. I feel like these are two teams where pretty much everyone's available, right? Like
yes,
Anaheim. I mean,
Oh, wait,
outside
no,
of
it's not. Frank
no,
Vetrano. Holy smokes.
I mean, outside of Frank
69%.
Vetrano, yeah.
69%.
But other than that, I mean, Mason McTavish, 22%. He's got 3 points in his last 2 games. And then Carolina, of all things, because Svetch is out. That's why. You got Taylor Hall at 5%. He is getting power play one time, believe it or not.
Where's
Right?
Carolina?
Oh.
Okay, wait, no. So
I mean, you got some names on Carolina.
how do they do this each year, Alan? I don't understand. Like, all I was hearing on the news was about how Rantanen was, like disappointing. It's terrible. You think Carolina was licking the bottom of the barrel, and I'm looking and they're like comfortably second, going to get home ice advantage. Like, just every year this happens. My goodness.
I don't know. Mr. Rogers would be disappointed. But yeah, I'd say other than that, it's for Carolina, throw a dart at the wall. You got some pick them up. They might score, especially against Anaheim. And then Anaheim Periffs, as we always default to. They're both widely available. Gudis and Truba, if you need bangs.
Maybe Slavin, 22%.
Oh, I didn't realize he was known for riffs.
Yeah. It's tough.
I mean, it's unlikely he'll get power play one time. Surprisingly, Ghost Bear's ownership, I think I saw, was at about 57%. So
yeah, it's
worth checking, but
sure.
I think he's cooled off a bit.
Next game, guy. Wait, Jackson Blake, line one, power play 1%, 1% owned.
Part of the blender, man. I don't put too much stock in that. Don't put too much stock in that. Even Taylor Hall, like, you can't reliably say that he's going to be power play 1 on Sunday.
It's kind of interesting to see Jackson Blake, because I would generally say that's
popped in and out.
I was just saying that's generally an inverted, like
Blake Jackson.
Yeah, Blake Jackson. Anyways, okay, yeah, but Jackson Blake, memorable name, line 1, power play 1%, deep cut. Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah, they're all deep cuts on Carolina outside of Aho, Svetch, Jarvis.
For sure.
But next game here, Boston at LA. I don't know if this one's really streamable here. I mean, surprisingly though, Pavel Saka and Morgan Geeky are like around 15%. Those are nice. Again, just go check on
the guy, right?
Oh yeah, if is he available? I feel like his ownership will have shot up
12%.
Hopefully. Are you kidding?
12% seems insane.
Wow.
Oh, he's not doing much. That's why he's getting 20 plus minutes a night, and
it's like that 2 hits. Again, that Tyson Berry mold. It's like if he is not getting you points, he's really not doing anything for you. But Boston had a pretty good schedule this week. It was worth picking up, especially if you're one of those people, and also one of those people who just dealing with the injuries to guys like Dougie Hamilton, you lost Ekblad, can't get Jones, that kind of stuff.
I'm really appreciating the on-the-cuff apples-to-apples comparisons we're making. That was Tyson Berry was a solid equivalency.
God, I feel like I feel like I truly am getting to that point where it's just like I'm gonna start naming these guys that no one has any idea who they are. It's like, God, you remember Sakura or whoever was on the power play in Edmonton like a decade ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it was
Oh,
Sekera. It was
man.
someone else.
What a time to be on an Edmonton power play with Sekera there, and then realizing they now have Dry, Bouchard, and McJesus on the set. Anyways, hockey can change things on a fly.
But from LA, I mean, just go check on Byfield. But yeah, I gotta give props to Warren Fogle, McLovin, 15% owned. I don't think he got anything in that last game, but he's still a little hot. Probably maybe worth picking up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dano.
I think I would say Dano in like a face-offs.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Face-offs league, probably. Yeah.
Because that was the whole point of bringing him in. Was so Kopitar didn't have to play the offensive and defensive faceoffs.
Sure.
Dano can take the defensive faceoffs for him. In the next game,
Manko.
Yeah,
power play one.
Is he doing anything with it? No,
he does nothing. But
it's such a weird deployment, though. Like they trade, right? They had to have traded for him, and then give him primo deployment with Kopitar, power play one, and he just hasn't. I don't know. I mean, are they? They got to be just trying to see if a change of scenery will help him do something. But I don't know. I feel like he's gotten too many chances. Although you know what, it worked for PLD. Ship him off to the Caps. Whole new player. Next game, Buffalo at Winnipeg. I don't know if I really want to take anyone from Buffalo on this one.
I don't.
I mean, there's a couple of guys, right? Like Zucker, solid power play one appearance or player all season. I mean, Zach Benson's line one with JJ Peterka out
is getting power play
one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess they have to make something up and have something.
They gotta try something. Not that they're really playing for anything at this point, but yeah, Winnipeg. I mean, again, it's the same guys we talk about. But if you need bangs now, Luke Shen, formerly Pittsburgh Penguins legend, is now in Winnipeg. Next game, I feel like this one could turn into a high scoring affair. Chicago versus Philly. Levshinov, it looks like the experiment continues with him on power play one instead of Vlasic. He is 6% owned, so plenty of room out there, or plenty of leagues he's available in out there. Brian Donato somehow 36%, seems pretty stapled to Bedard at this point.
Definitely the value guy to get.
Yeah. Tabo Teravainen and Tyler Bertuzzi, they're also power play one guys. And then on Philly though, Michkov is pretty much a lottery ticket right now. I mean, you never know if he's fourth line, first line, bench, press box. I don't know. There's no one that really sticks out to me on Philly. It's almost, even if we tell you to pick up someone tonight, there's no guarantee that they're in that same deployment on Sunday. Same deal as Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, like Sean Couturier probably is the value guy, right? With like power play one and 3% ownership. But again, deep cut, probably heavily overvalued in the league with face-off wins too.
Next up, Florida versus Pittsburgh. Got to be one of the Cinderella stories of the last month or so. Mackie Samoskevich, 18%, and power play one, man. And he covers hits, blocks, shots too. Definitely a lot of availability there, and I don't want to say should be owned, but I would say is probably one of the better pickups you can make for a Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the trend is crazy, right? Like, so I'm gonna look at the last.
He's been on that power play one for a minute. It's not like it was an injury or something that got him up there. They tried him out and they like him.
He's the fourth highest scoring Panther over the past 14 days. Okay, I'm gonna see
that sounds right.
Last 7. And yeah, he still maintains it over the last. So over the past 2 weeks,
like they like him.
Last week, he's been the fourth best guy, which is kind of nuts to say on a team with. Okay, so the only guys better than him: Bennett, Reinhart, Barkov, and that pretty much tracks, right? We kind of imagine those three guys to be better.
And you still got, who knows when Marchand's gonna jump in? There's still no timeline on Kachuk, so Samoskevich probably one of the next guys up. Deep cut. Evan Rodriguez. I mean, I know we've pumped his horn in the last year and a half, as long as we've been in this. Yeah, that's a lottery ticket to me too. I know he's playing with Barkov and Reinhardt at the moment, but I think that the hottest he's ever been was like a year ago.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna be, obviously
Samoskevich. If you're trying to pick a winner out of that game, I feel like it's Samoskevich.
Take whomever is available. Also, we're saying a bunch of Florida guys, but I'm like, I guess the Pittsburgh guys we already covered. Imagine it's a 4-0 Jari shutout. It's like, Samoskevich. Oh god.
Oh man, he killed my week. Those freaking 5-hole guys told me to pick up Samoskevich. Told me it was a sure thing. Next up, Nashville at St. Louis. I feel like these games are the reason to pick up St. Louis players this week. Falk and Fowler should both be widely available. I personally grabbed Fowler. For some reason, Jake Neighbors, 22% for some reason. Just go check on Booch. I'm so not interested in any of the Nashville players. I'm like right there for dropping Marchessault, which seems like blasphemy because I've held him all season. I even, I drafted Saros super early and I held him out of spite. I dropped him this week. I'm like, I can't afford Saros to lay an egg for me at all this week.
It is no longer juicy at this point in the season. No. And
big juice, little juice. I don't want any juice from Nashville.
Any juice, not at this point in the season. Although I would say Braden Shen, right? 33%.
Yeah, he's available. Yeah. Peripheral coverage too.
Grab the captain, grab, the second line power play 2 center. Could go worse.
Yeah, I think those defensemen are juicy. They've both been on fire lately. And last one, Tampa at Vegas. Vegas, to me, the guy to get, Dorofeyev. Power play 1 still. He's on that line with Hurdle. I think, TJ mentioned it on the week preview. Just him and Hurdle just been cooking most of the season now. Tampa, this is slim. So I noticed they tried like a slightly different power play unit at the end of that game against Philly. They took Bjorkstrand off, and then they had I guess Radish was the QB, and then they had Hedman on that left circle or left dot. So I don't know if Hedman's got a shot on him. That was kind of the point of trying Bjorkstrand there, was to get someone with a shot on that left circle. But I don't know. I would keep an eye on Darren Radish.
But how does that work with the umbrella? Because I'm assuming if you put Hedman on the shot, is he no longer the guy sweeping?
He's no longer the QB. It's Radish. It was Radish.
Oh, Alan, I don't know how I feel about that one. Anyways,
and I mean that there's a chance that may not even be a thing next game. Maybe they, it was a 1-0 game, and they're just like, we got to do something to secure that. try to get that second goal to get the win. And for some reason, they have Yanni Laurel Gord on line 1 with Gensel and Point right now, 7% owned.
Laurel
No, that's one of many running jokes my wife and I have. I mean, you remember that, right? Like, what are they saying? Laurel, Yanni. So we call him Laurel. He's on line 1 with Gensel and Point right now. I don't think he's really done anything with it. Again, I'm kind of shocked he's there. He is not as young as he was when we won back-to-back cups, and Gord could play some heavy minutes. I don't know. We'll see if that pans out.
What other spot would he be snagging it from, though? Right? I'm
Gord
looking.
Or what do you mean?
Well, I was just comparing the first and second lines, right? So your first line's what? Cooch, Point,
Gensel, they took Cooch and put him with Hagel and Sorelli, which is something they like to do when they need a little grit to go with Cooch's finesse.
You know what? I'm not even going to say anything because he won 2 cups. He knows what he's doing. It is beyond mere mortals.
John Cooper, I think he is the longest tenured active coach right now.
He is.
So
he knows what he's doing. I don't understand. He doesn't have to tell me.
We're just 2 guys on a fantasy hockey podcast.
Exactly. Exactly.
So goalie streams.
What were those three again? I just need to hear. So is it Cooch, Hagel, and Cirelli?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They've slotted him in there. They've slotted Cooch in there several times throughout the season.
Okay.
I mean, when it's clear that Point Gensel Cooch doesn't get it done, that's what they would fall back to.
For sure. Okay.
But goalie streams, yeah, we got no Friday, Saturday teams. So Saturday, Sunday, you got Boston at San Jose at LA, Buffalo at Minnesota at Winnipeg, Carolina at LA at Anaheim, Chicago at St. Louis at Philly, Florida at Washington versus Pittsburgh, LA versus Carolina versus Boston, Nashville versus Toronto at St. Louis, yuck. Philly at Dallas at Chicago. I don't like either of those. Even the Chicago game, St. Louis versus Chicago versus Nashville. Now that. There we go. Joel Hofer to the rescue. Tampa at Utah at Vegas, and Vegas is homestand versus Detroit and versus Tampa. I mean, Vegas, you're not getting either one of those guys. Boston, I mean, I like at San Jose, but you're not. I mean, are you going to start Korpisalo on a Saturday when like pretty much everyone's playing? To me, Joel Hofer is probably the clear-cut winner for a goalie
Joel
stream.
Hofer is easily the clear-cut winner. The only thing that could possibly snag further,
either of those games.
Yeah, the only one that makes me kind of think and pause a bit is that Philly Chicago game. Because like we're talking Fedotov?
You know what? They probably play Fedotov against Chicago, Urson at Dallas. Yeah.
Well, let's see. So Fedotov led in 1 goal last game, and I mean,
I don't know where that came from, man. Dude was a fucking brick wall. Against Tampa. I couldn't believe that. And here I thought, like, yeah, my Bjorkstrand, Radish, Cooch. I'm gonna come out with like 5 points across all those guys. No.
What? It's like, anyways. So I mean, that could repeat, right? Like a couple bounces go right. I mean, ain't no shame in getting shut out by Tampa. I mean, there would be plenty of shame if you got shut out by Chicago. But I mean,
it was Vazzy. It was Vazzy in that, man. There's no shame. That dude is otherworldly.
It should be a win, right? Like, frankly, for Philly, it should be a win come Saturday, and whichever guy is in the crease should collect, hypothetically, right? Like
against Chicago, right?
I'm just looking.
Okay, yeah, the Sunday game.
I was like, okay, so Chicago is, come on, like they're both. This is a battle of the barn burners, and somehow Philly still has a 15-point lead on Chicago. Like, this is just how gapped it should be.
I don't know, Riddick. No, I don't like Riddick. Vanacek. Maybe Vanacek versus Pittsburgh, but I still like Hofer for either of those games.
Yeah.
Hofer, I bet they play him Sunday, though, because they just played Hofer on Monday, I think. And then they said they did want to play both. They have that luxury.
Yeah, I mean, Hofer probably is the easy win to snag for the Sunday game, but I mean, actually, could you not double up if you were trying to get like goalie streams, just like literally chain the Chicago games and get Hofer if he ends up starting on the Chicago game, and then chain it up on the Sunday?
Oh, whoever is Philly. I feel like that Philly Chicago game has potential to be a high scoring game. I don't know.
That's true.
I mean, both teams aren't really playing for anything at this point, but I just feel like,
what is Chicago's goalie situation? So Spencer Knight.
Spencer Knight at
26% probably might be a good value guy too, actually.
He's been rough. He's been rough. Like I honestly would rather pick up Tristan Jarry than Spencer Knight.
Let's look at Arvid Soderblom. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. We're staying away from Chicago. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I feel bad for the kid, man. I remember that Battle of Florida playoff round, man. Game 7. They throw Spencer Knight in there, and he just puts on a fucking clinic. But it seems like he had some mental health struggles. Like, I don't know how much of that's affected his game over time, but has pedigree.
For sure.
Yeah. Moving on, go looking to next week, assuming you make it that far. Hopefully you do. Hopefully you're here with us, Saturday, of course, and then the next show, and then that next Sit Start Saturday. I feel like that's probably one that'll drop off quick. But next week prep, no Sunday, Monday, guys, of course. Like I said earlier, Vancouver, 4 games, 4 off nights. So get ready to learn some names you've never heard of before Monday.
I thought you were going to say learn some Spanish, and I'm like, they speak Spanish in the West
what?
Coast?
No, I don't know about. I doubt it. Also some good teams to pick from. Gonna have some good streamers here. Jersey, especially with all their injuries. New York Islanders, maybe, and then Utah all have 4 games, 3 off nights. That's juicy. Next week's gonna be pretty juicy to stream from. And then we're scheduled
in late week streams too, right? Like you look at Utah, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, just beautiful. Just rolls off the tongue.
So we'll definitely be talking about Utah this time next week. And then worst schedules. I mean, there are some off nights in there, but both Boston and Florida both have 2 games.
Yeah.
That's
Samoskevich. Right.
On Monday, there's your target. But that's going to go ahead wrap for the night. If you had questions that you didn't get to in the chat, remember you can always DM us on Twitter or pop by the Discord. You can even tag us on the Discord using @FHFH. We'll be back this weekend with Start Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Good night. Good mental health, everyone.
Awesome hockey. Glad to have you guys with us. We will pick you up later.